We know essential services have to continue, with a looming question mark over how cities and towns will pay for it. For a look at the dollars and cents, I'm joined by University of Regina economics professor Jason Childs. Jason, we've heard that the hit to Regina alone will be in the millions, up to 20 million, depending on how long this goes. What's your take on the financial impact?
It's going to be substantial. Any municipality is going to get some of its revenue and no small amount of it from service fees, parking, that kind of thing. And when people aren't going into the downtown cores or not doing things, that revenue dries up pretty quick.
What's the difference between Regina and Saskatoon?
Regina's going to have a little more stable funding from sort of government offices, that kind of thing. Whereas I think Saskatoon might be a little harder pressed because it's more of a business center. And if businesses are struggling financially, they might find themselves in tax arrears more quickly than they would than, say, a government office.
Jason, can cities afford to defer property tax payments for people who may not be working?
That's always going to be a challenge because municipalities generally aren't able to run deficits the same way provincial governments or federal governments are. So if they're going to defer taxes, they've got to find a way to make up that shortfall somewhere, at least in an accounting sense. And that's not a small task.
What about smaller municipalities who don't have the same tax base? How do they navigate this?
Well, they should be slightly protected from this in that they're not going to get as much of their revenue from fees and services and that kind of thing the way, say, a Saskatoon or Regina is going to. But again, they're going to be very, very sensitive to property taxes. And if, depending on the side of the town, a small number of people not being able to make their property tax payments that year is going to have a dramatic effect on their budgets and what they're looking like.
Is there a point where Saskatoon or Regina could effectively go broke?
We're talking about a budget every year of somewhere in the neighborhood for Regina of $500 million, and we're talking about losing 21 million out of that. So I don't think we're in the area of going broke, but there's going to be some hard decisions that need to be made to balance the budgets and stay within the legislation. It's not going to be an easy job.
When this is over, and this will be over at some point, in your opinion, is there any way around a tax increase?
It, again, depends on where else you want to do the money. The other thing is cut services. There are services that are not absolutely essential that could be cut. They generate a lot of value and a lot of pleasure for people, but we need to make a decision. Is it better to have lower property taxes or fewer services?
Thanks for your time, Jason.
Thank you.
Jason Childs is an associate professor of economics at the University of Regina.